Welcome back. Now, traditionally, when gold is bought or sold, it must physically be transported to its owner's vault. And with geopolitical tensions at a high, the way the safe haven asset is traded and owned is in for a change. The World Gold Council, alongside Linklaters and Hilltop Walk Consulting, is introducing the wholesale of digital gold, which will alter how the yellow metal is owned, traded and utilized. Mike Oswin, Global Head of Market Structure and Innovation at the World Gold Council, joins us with more insight on this vision. Mike, thanks so much for your time this afternoon. And let's start there. Before we take a look at the structure the World Gold Council is proposing, take us through how gold is currently owned, traded and used, and the flaws in that process.
Yeah, thank you. So we're very much focused, this initiative is focused on the wholesale market, or often called the London OTC market, which is the largest wholesale market globally. Trades around $140 billion a day, clears some 20 million ounces, so a significant amount of volume and gold trading there. It currently trades in two ways. It trades in an allocated way, which means you have direct ownership of a physical gold bar that is kept in a vault for you, or unallocated, which has more flexibility, but it is you are having counterparty risk and credit exposure because you don't actually have direct ownership of a physical gold bar. So that's really how the market functions today.
And I can imagine with, the increased activity in the market that a lot of transactions are taking place as more and more investors look for safe haven assets, right? Then talk to me about the structure that, the World Gold Council is currently proposing.
Yeah, so wholesale digital gold. Really, what we want to do is we want to take the best of the allocated market and the best of the unallocated market and create a third pillar for the wholesale market. And what that will enable is the legal title, the beneficial ownership of physical gold, but in a digital way, which gives gold mobility and it gives it utility. And so the major benefit that we see is gold then being used as financial collateral. So it will have the portability to be able to be pledged, just like any other digitally native asset like cash or a treasury bond, but it will be backed by physical gold.
And how will this affect the market in totality, particularly when it comes to, liquidity and efficiency?
So we do see this very complementary to the current market. So obviously having that digital capability to transfer a representation of physical gold does open up new opportunities. The one we talk about here very much is collateral, but you can envisage the trading of what we call the PGI, the pooled gold interest, is the digital representation. So that could be used for trading, transferring value, for collateral. So we do believe that we're opening up potentially new participation in the market. Because of these new opportunities and these new use cases.
And talk to me about the partnership with Linklaters as well as Hilltop, and how they're supporting the wholesale digital gold ecosystem.
Yeah, so the legal structure that is underpinning this was absolutely crucial. We had to get this right. So we engaged Linklaters. And Hilltop Walk are working with many of the participants, which is the banks and the custodians. So together we've created the legal structure that can underpin the wholesale digital gold initiative, and that is around this pooled gold interest, this PGI. We had to ensure that the pool of gold that will be owned by a group of core participants, that when the digital representation of that gold is created, the beneficial ownership does transfer down to the holder of that PGI. That was a really critical part of this, to give the surety to all investors and users of the ecosystem that they do have the entitlement to that physical gold. So that's the role that Linklaters have played. We've engaged the participants, the banks, the legal teams on this. It's something that has probably taken us 18 months to 2 years to get to this stage. But that has given us a really robust legal structure to underpin the digital ecosystem.
And it seems like, there are many stakeholders involved. With that being said, would you say that the industry as a whole is in support of the move?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's a really good point, because without the industry support, these initiatives very, very rarely get off the ground. And I think the reason we do have the support of the industry and the participation here is because of the opportunities it's opening up, and that gold as collateral is one of them. If you think the banks, especially the largest bullion banks who do hold a lot of gold on their balance sheet, if they can mobilize that as a collateral, get it out into the overnight markets, allow their clients to use it as collateral for their margin positions, it really is beneficial. So I think we've got industry support because we are, A, coalescing the industry together around this new legal structure, and B, there is great opportunity in what we're doing.
And Mike, before I let you go, what are the next steps for the initiative, and how will it continue to evolve and, I guess, gain adoption in the market?
Yeah, so the next key stage is a pilot. So we hope to kick that off at the end of this year, roll that into next year, and this will be a real world pilot. The intention, it's not a sort of simulation. The intention is to take real physical gold and get that gold into the ecosystem, generate the PGI, the digital representation, transfer that PGI as collateral between banks and tri-party agents, and then reverse that and take the gold back out of the system. So we will prove the viability of the legal structure, the end-to-end operational processes in that pilot, and really that is the beginning of the implementation of the project. It's not just the pilot that we then leave. This is the start of mobilizing the ecosystem.
Really, very, very interesting developments taking place in the market. Mike, thanks so much for your time and just taking us through those developments. Now, that was the World Gold Council's Global Head of Market Structure, Mike Oswin.